So I already know where I'm going, because in the demo, I went there. Tavern is now available at the encampment. Sundry shop is now available. Serenoa decides whether his house will make their journey to the Grand Duchy of Esfrost or the Holy State of Hyzant. Esfrost. Maybe by the time I'm done with this game, I'll say it right once. Estfrost. There's like an extra T that's invisible there, and there's no A.
It seems your first test as Lord has come.
I love that it's got a little table and everything. You just gotta bring that everywhere.
Indeed, but I needn't face it alone. I would ask each of you where you think we should go and why. State your case before the scales of conviction. Then we shall decide our destination.
We take a vote and the consensus determines our action. Is that it?
That is correct. So long as my allies walk by my side, their opinions carry equal weight to mine. Such is the way of House Wolford. As Lord, I shall bear the weight of consequence for the Scales' decision, whatsoever they may be.
You are more serious than usual, my friend.
He understands what it means to be Lord of his house.
Unlike some people, Roland.
Well, I hope you have room for a stowaway, because I'm going too. In secret, of course. I trust the new Lord Wolfort will handle the ponderous negotiations and diplomacy with grace.
Your Highness, you cannot be...
You may stay ashore if you wish, but...
You know I cannot allow that. If you insist on going, then I shall attend you.
Well then, it would seem the matter is settled.
There is exactly one coin for each of us.
It seems fate has conspired to bring balance to our proceedings.
How curious.
Curious? I see it as a sign that the heavens approve of my joining you.
You are ever the optimist, my friend.
Shall we proceed, my lord? One coin, one vote.
Very well. I would hear each of your thoughts on the matter in turn. Then you shall place your coin upon the scales of conviction and illuminate the road ahead.
As Frost or Hyzant, what would we... Would that we had the time to visit both. Although I may not have my own token of conviction, it is my duty to lend an ear to their arguments. An honest exchange of opinions will hopefully lead to a decision that satisfies all who vote. Path of gotta read. The path of the story will be determined by the consensus of your party as played out through voting scenes. Each of your allies will cast their vote according to his or her own convictions. As the player, you will be bound to the decision of the majority. Before voting commences, you may attempt to persuade the others to change their minds. Whether or not your attempt succeeds will only be revealed when the votes are cast. The strength of Serenoa's convictions will affect the chances of success. The key to winning over your party is gathering the necessary information beforehand. That information may not always be found in the same room where the votes are cast. So be proactive in talking to everyone you meet on your journey. I like that. How they do this. The bridge is broken. Esfrost soldiers are said to be among the strongest in all of Norzelia. However, that is only hearsay. I mean to judge them for myself. I wish to visit the holy state of Hyzant. Hyzant has its charms as well, I'm sure. What about it appeals to you, my lord? I wish to see how their touted equality works in practice. For now, it is only words to me. I would like to visit the source. There's nothing else like it in the world. It's said that the skill of their mages is unequaled. Wouldn't you like to test your skills against such warriors? I mean, obviously that's one. I have heard the same.
True.
What magic I have seen is impressive enough. I can scarce imagine what a true master could do. I should like to try my hand against one in mock combat, if able. My bow against their spells. Thank you, my lord. I suppose there may be some merit in visiting Hyzant. Hewitt is deep in thought. Who would be thinking? As for Frost or Hyzant, it makes no difference to me. Where you go, I shall follow. Still, I would like to hear your thoughts on the matter, my lord. I would wish to visit the Grand Duchy of Esfrost. I wish to visit the holy state of Hyzant. They say Hyzant is the nation of salt and sand. Do you have a reason to go there? Here everyone is treated as equals. I would like to see the truth of that claim. I can scarce imagine so much sand. I would like to see it with my own eyes. It's coarse and grainy and gets everywhere. I love it. Wish to see what miracles are performed at the ministry and learn what kind of magic and medicines enables them. I see. I hear the feats performed there beggar belief. Any knowledge we could gain would surely come in handy during times of need. Thank you for sharing, my lord. I see now why you wish to visit Hyzant. Anna is deep in thought. Until now, Frederica's position has offered her few chances to visit Hyzant. Deepening your relationship with the Holy State would doubtless be to your benefit as well. Why not use this opportunity to let Frederica realize a long-held wish in the meantime? Yeah, sure. Yes. If your heart is truly set on Esfrost, I would be curious to know your reasons. Wish to know more about my betrothed. What better way to do that than to visit her home? Though Esfrost may be cold, I find the chill much more preferable to the heat. Yes, absolutely. I mean, we're talking about IRL. A story I heard of a particular skilled smuggler caught my attention. They have even sent military after him. I wonder what he could have been peddling. I mean, the cold and heat thing. I mislike the heat as well, but I doubt there is anyone who does not. However, your reasoning is sound. If lacking subtlety, I suppose it is something to consider. I believe I have more than enough food for thought. Gila! I have always wondered when I might visit the country where my mother was born. How did she spend her youth? I would very much like to see. You wish to visit Esfrost? Might I ask why? I want to see more of your homeland. As your betrothed, I feel the curiosity is only natural. Truth be told, I prefer the cold to the stifling heat. Such has ever been the case. People of Hyzant may not be so welcoming as you believe. That one, I guess. Is it because I am a Rosalian? Please, I do not need others to presume upon my feelings. I am proud of the hair my mother gave me, and do not concern myself with the opinions of others. You seem to have given quite a bit of thought to this question, Serena. If we do travel to Esfrost, how would you like to spend our visit? Tend to see relation between our two nations deepened as much as our own marriage as for the future of our mining venture. I was hoping you could show me your home if you are willing. I want to see a society built by the ambitious. A society free from stifling pomp and circumstance. Your home. Truly. Then I shall do my best to level... words. Truly. Then I shall do my level best to show you the finest Esfrost has to offer. I hope it is everything you imagine. If it isn't, well, promise not to think worse of me. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with me. I shall consider them as I come to form my own opinion. Appears indifferent to your plea. That's fine. I want to go to Hyzant. Can't very well say Hyzant holds much appeal to me. Sorcery and Exarm are too clever by half. I'm sure the people of Esfrost will give a warm reception even if their weather won't. The way I see it, you can't go wrong with a visit to Esfrost considering your nuptial circumstances. We're going to Hyzant. Ah, you want to go to Hyzant, do you? Care telling me why, my lord? Sand and Sun must make people of a different sort than here. It would be interesting to meet them. Long wanted to visit the source. It is the cornerstone of all life in Norseldia, after all. Stories of the miracles performed in the Ministry of Medicine have piqued my interest. Such knowledge could help our soldiers and common folk alike. It's very true. Aye, doubtless, we could learn from the minds of the Ministry. Would that we had such gifted healers and mages at our disposal. Might be we could ask them for a book, but I've always been of the mind that the best learning is done through doing. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on the matter, my lord. Do I need to talk to those people? Prince Franny and Minister Patriot are waiting to see off our esteemed guests. They said to ask them if you have any questions on the matter. Okay. King Regna expects great things of you, Lord Serenoa. If there is anything I can do to be of service, simply say the word. Should like to learn more about the holy state of Hyzant. I know they lay claim to the source, and thus all of Norselia's salt. Should like to know more about Frederica's home. I hear the Grand Duchy of Esfrost is known for its views on freedom. Should like to hear more about her home of Glenbrook. Are there any problems I should be aware of? That one. What's going on here? Surely your jest, Lord Serenoa. The kingdom is in the capable hands of royalists like myself. Our home has a long history of prosperous trade that utilizes everything our bountiful land has to offer. There is nothing for the warriors of House Wolford to worry themselves over. But if I may be so blunt, Prince, Roland's whimsical acts of late have been met with disappointment from both King Regna and Prince Franny. I wouldn't call them whimsical, Minister Petriat. Roland is doing everything he can for his kingdom. If this were not a family matter, I should like to ask His Highness myself to conduct himself in a manner more befitting a prince. Alas, this is out of my hands. I am certain you understand the same, Lord Wolfort. I would hate for anything to happen should you decide to step in. House Wolfort has turned its sword on the royal family before, albeit 30 years ago. But, in the end, your house joined forces with the kingdom to lead the war to its end, and are even lauded as heroes to this day. But there are some who still harbor their suspicions. I urge you to proceed with the utmost caution. Pray forgive me. I forget myself sometimes. I hope my foolish ramblings have not clouded your judgment. The decision is yours to make, Lord Serenoa, and I am sure you will choose most wisely. Nah. Lord Wolfort, I know your position as head of your house comes with many responsibilities. But being party to Roland's fancies is not one of them. I hope you understand that. Roland is doing what he can for the kingdom in his own way. As his older brother, I'm sure you can see that. Roland may be a prince, but he is also like a brother to me. I swear to do all I can in the service of the crown. I appreciate your concern, Prince Franny, and hope that you and I can be friends as well, just like our fathers before us. He's not going to take kindly to that. He'll be like, peasant. He's doing his best. Be nice to him. No, I'm just middle one. A brother, you say? You mean to take my place as that fool's older sibling, then? Of course not. There is no way I could replace you, Prince Franny. But because you are brothers, in truth, it stands to reason that you would bicker like siblings. Perhaps it would be good for the royal family if I were to be a buffer between you two. What a curious man you are, to offer to play such a part. Do as you please, but I suggest holding on tightly to his reins if you do. Okay. Okay. Just a bridge. Okay. Roland, my boy. Doubtless Esfrost will be a close partner in the days ahead. It would be wise to see how they live, don't you think? I want to go to Hyzant. What reasons have you for wanting to visit Hyzant? I just got a feeling. He's like, dude, you're full of it. The salt from the source has made them prosperous. I would be interested in seeing how that wealth manifests itself. It would be fascinating. I would be fascinated to see a society where everyone is truly equal. Indeed, they say Hyzant is a country without kings or nobles. 'Tis hard to imagine. But why imagine when we could see it with our own eyes? An interesting proposal. I wonder what everyone else thinks. You've given me much to consider, friend. Roland be thinking. Hyzant's Ministry of Medicine is said to be a beacon of progress in both medicine and magic. I believe we could benefit greatly from seeing the fruits of their knowledge with our own eyes. I wanna go to Esfrost, even though I don't. What interest could you have in the Grand Duchy of Esfrost, my lord? Grand Duchy of Esfrost. Their country is built on unfettered trade. Being lord of a mercantile hub, that idea holds great interest for me. I'd like to visit Frederica's homeland, both to sate my own curiosity and for the sake of our marriage. Heard much of the grandeur of Esfrost City. A lord should take an interest on how life is lived in other nation. That just sounds kind of, I don't know. Yes and no. I mean, obviously the last one's the right answer, but yeah, gotta move stuff. This needs to get off the desk. It's taking up all the space. Okay. Yes, certainly a fascinating aspect of their society. However, I find Hyzant's claims of universal equality to be even more intriguing. Blech. I appreciate your point of view, my lord. There is much I must think over before I reach a final decision. Of course, if you have further thoughts on the matter, then I would be all too glad to hear them. Esfrost's achievements in ironwork are second to none. Have you no interest in seeing such marvels? Truth be told, I find Esfrost's chilling winds more appealing than the stifling sands of Hyzant. Knowledge is the foundation of power. We could learn much by wandering the archives for a spell. Because you could probably learn about spells. The archives, the seat of the world's knowledge. Even the most erudite among us is but a fool before those countless tomes. You have given me much to consider, my lord. I shall take your perspective into account when making my decision. Okay, I think we're good. In persuasion phase and commence voting? Yes! Should be going to Hyzant with this. Voting.
It is time to cast our votes. Do we journey to the Grand Duchy of Esfrost or the holy state of Hyzant? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at
No
the
making
ready.
more tokens.
You've convinced me.
If that is your wish, then so be it. Hyzant is just as good as Esfrost. We shall have a chance to visit Hyzant again in the future. Of that I am certain. I am sorry, Serenoa, but I fear if I don't see Hyzant now, I will regret it. You made a convincing argument, a desirable attribute in a young lord. Attribute. Where my lord goes, I follow.
My vote.
Hyzant has its charms, I admit. Charms I mean to see for myself. Baby, we're going to Hyzant! I've been wanting to visit Esfrost for a while.
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
Wait. Oh, okay. I was like, I thought the red one was Esfrost, but I'm just thinking of the soldier's uniform that came from there.
The way forward is decided.
I was like,
Journey to
what?
Hyzant.
I'm so confused. How do I get the other one? Oh no, never mind.
We have decided. We set sail for the holy state of Hyzant. Whether or not it proves to be the right choice will depend on our actions. I trust in you all.
We are
Good,
ready
it's
to
been like a
set
day and a
sail,
half.
Patriot.
Very good, my lord. When you pay respects to the Holy One and the Saintly Seven, remember that you do so on behalf of our king.
Lord Serenoa, we are honored that you would choose to grace our nation with your presence. That said, I must offer you a warning as well.
It may be in Lady Frederica's best interests to remain here in Glenbrook. I fear there may be some complications were she to come to Hyzant.
What if we put a wig on her?
She is half-sister to the Archduke and my betrothed besides. What complications could there possibly be?
None, if I had any say in it. However, the matter is more delicate than that.
Your lady's hair would draw attention. Unfortunately,
Little
none
hair
of it
racist.
favorable.
Sorry.
My mother's hair. The pink locks of the Roselle. Mother once told me of how her people fled Hyzant. Then you know how the Roselle are viewed in our nation. How the gospel of the goddess regards them as sinners. Yes, I do. But I am from Esfrost, and I assure you I have committed no sins. Of course, my lady. Very well then. I will do all in my power to see your visit is a
So there is that library book I haven't returned yet.
Thank you. Pray forgive my outburst.
You've no need to apologize. Still, I must ask, are you certain?
I must go. I would see with my own eyes. See where and how my mother and her people suffered.
Whither the river flows completed. It's 5 a.m. Do I stop here? Go a little bit more. A little bit more. At least, we gotta get there. At least, you know, just...
By order of King Regna, Serenoa escorts their esteemed guests back home, beyond the forest and over the mountains to a vast sand-swept land. Before long, a grand wall of stone rises before them. Known as the Goddess's Shield, behind it lies the source, Nozelia's only supply of salt. Upon the lake shores of the source towers a giant likeness of the goddess, ever watching over the flourishing city and the palace below. This is the holy state
Camelot.
of Hyzant.
Camelot. It's only a model. Chapter 3, Part 2. I wasn't fast enough. Couldn't read it. Reading is impossible.
I had heard tales of the goddess's shield, but its grandeur surpasses even my imagination.
It protected the holy state from both Glenbrook and Esfrost during the war. None in history have succeeded in breaching it. Do you think you might fare better, Lord Serenoa?
I think penetrating these walls would be nigh impossible.
A most courteous answer. I should have expected as much.
Didn't even have to knock. It's easy. We're in. Oh, I was like, oh, okay.
What's that sound?
Could this be?
Is this the hour of worship I've heard so much about?
Indeed. Hyzantians offer their prayers up to the goddess's statue every day. They thank her for her blessing, for bestowing us with the source, from which all Norzalia's salt is harvested.
To see every citizen pray is astonishing. The goddess truly is at the center of all Hyzant, just as the stories say.
Even so, are there none who'd use this time of worship to rob their fellow citizens?
There are none so misguided among the goddess's believers.
All Hyzantians are guaranteed food, clothing, and shelter. The Holy State has done everything in its power to eliminate poverty and ensure equality. As a result, no one envies others or craves riches for selfish reasons.
Certainly if everyone were equal.
Oh yeah,
there
sure,
would be naught
sure.
to fight about.
But achieving absolute equality is impossible.
The words of an unbeliever.
Shun the
Showers
unbeliever.
her blessings fairly upon all who follow her teachings.
Before we visit the Hierophant, there is one thing I must tell you about
She's got
Lady
pink
Frederica.
hair.
Under normal circumstances, the head of our nation would not permit an audience with one of Rosellan extract. We have explained the circumstances, however, and she has been granted special permission to enter the palace as an envoy.
That said, we would ask that Lady Frederica remain silent before the Holy One.
Silent? Why?
I reiterate that typically she would not be so much as allowed to attend. We ask for your
Plus, she swears like a
understanding of our
sailor. We heard her on the boat.
You mean to treat one of Glenbrook's delegates as if she weren't even there?
Prince Roland, you are here in secret. It would not do for you to gainsay
Yeah,
another
true,
nation's religious
true.
creed. I have no objections.
My apologies.
You needn't apologize. Let us do what we came here for.
We appreciate your understanding. Now then, let us show you to the palace.
Gonna curse up a storm in there. Frederica, please. Gosh.
That is where the Hierophant resides.
The Hierophant imparts us with the goddess's divine messages. None are allowed to look upon the Holy One's face. None save Minister Edor, who conveys their divine words to us.
Pardon our intrusion. Lord Serenoa Wolfort of Glenbrook has escorted us home on behalf of King Regna.
The Hierophant speaks to you. Serenoa Wolfort, we thank you for your gracious gesture. We are overjoyed and humbled that you have chosen to grace our nation with your presence.
I am unworthy of such high praise, but honored nonetheless.
House Wolfort and Hyzant have shared a deep bond ever since the Sultan War. On behalf of the Saintly Seven, it is my wish that our friendship will be as strong as it was with your Lord Father.
But of course, I strive to one day measure up to his greatness.
Not gonna happen, kid.
You will also, in time, succeed Lord Simon as advisor to the mining venture, I hear. The Hierophant would hear your true thoughts on the endeavor.
think it's a significant... Hang on. I think it's a significant stepping stone toward peace between the three nations. I think it is a valuable endeavor that will fairly profit everyone. I fear the intentions of the three nations are not aligned. I sense a storm is brewing on the horizon. It's not very optimistic. Don't think it will fairly profit everyone, though. I mean, if I have any say, it's gonna be a significant stepping stone towards peace. I'll make it happen. We'll force peace upon you.
I think it a significant stepping stone toward peace between the three nations.
A safe reply.
I'm a safe person.
It is an ideal that I can only hope.
It's not, but you know.
If I might ask, what is the ideal to which the Holy One aspires?
I would share the goddess's blessing with all of Norzelia. The Holy One wishes for a world where people are equal. The goddess always watches over those who believe in her. May you all receive her divine protection.
I apologize for visiting you in secret, but there is something I must ask you. I have heard that the people of Hyzant live in equality. They say the goddess showers blessings upon those who follow her teachings. But is that
The violin in this is going real hard.
Oh, a studious one you are, Prince Roland. King Regna has raised you well. Of course, the goddess's teachings are at the core of the equality our citizens enjoy. But there are many measures taken by the Holy State to ensure the happiness of our people.
Taco Tuesday.
Minister Lila's Ministry of Medicine, which dedicates itself to the study of preserving life, is another example of this. The results of their research have allowed many people to overcome illness and injury and live long, healthy lives.
Fascinating. I would like to hear more about Hyzant's medical discoveries.
I see we managed to pique your interest. Minister Lila,
Well, you know, my dad is kind of like dying, so yeah, you know, a little bit.
Pray, show them around the ministry and let them admire Hyzant's pursuit of life and magic.
I was like, shiny? Oh, it's the candles. I was like, I'm not free roaming, so why would they have the shiny on the map if that's the case? It's the candles.